There is at least 12 people are taken into custody today on UW-Madison's campus following another day of protesting. Cameras captured the moment tensions peaked between campus police and pro-Palestinian protesters. Brittany Schmidt shows us what type of enforcement led to people being injured today.
This is the moment tensions boiled over at UW-Madison. Law enforcement officials started to shut down an encampment on campus at the direction of campus police and administrators.
Things got a little tense this morning, and we hoped that it would have been a little more peaceful than it became. But we came here to ensure Chapter 18, the tenting policy, was enforced. And that's what happened this morning.
For the past 3 days, students have gathered in a popular area on campus called Library Mall, calling on the university to divest from all companies profiting off the war in Gaza. The American Civil Liberties Union released a statement saying 2 protesters were injured this morning. According to campus police, 4 law enforcement officials were injured, including a state trooper that was hit in the head with a skateboard. UW-Madison administrators released a statement saying it values free expression and supports those who exercise their rights while following campus policies.
It is despicable that the university has allowed this to happen. And you can see that it's clearly a myth when people say that cops keep people safe. They clearly do not. They are in riot gear when there is no riot here.
Students say they will continue to protest until their demands are met. I'm Brittany Schmidt for Action 2 News.